Hello, thanks for joining us again on the channel. I've been wanting to talk about this for ages, and now that a friend finally got one, we can dive into his experience. Quick note before we begin, there's a discount link in the description and the top comment if you want to check it out. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer starts by explaining they have been a loyal customer of this particular brand's networking equipment for over 2 decades, with a generally positive history. However, their experience with this new mesh system was a mixed bag, ultimately ending in disappointment. The initial setup was described as a complete headache. The company provides no paper instructions, forcing users into a smartphone app-based installation that, for this client, repeatedly failed. After an hour of fruitless troubleshooting and a long wait on hold, a support technician finally guided them through a browser-based workaround that wasn't documented anywhere. For a premium piece of equipment, this initial struggle was a significant point of frustration. To be fair, once the system was up and running, its performance was excellent. Our reviewer was thrilled with the wireless speeds, which were a massive improvement over their previous router. The connection was stable, streaming video was buffer-free, and for a while the device met all their needs perfectly. The mobile app even became useful for management after the initial setup ordeal was over. The real problem arose just over a year into ownership, when the main unit's physical connection port suddenly failed, a mere 7 weeks after the hardware warranty expired. When our reviewer contacted customer support, they were met with indifference. Despite their long history with the brand and the proximity to the warranty's end, they were simply told it was out of warranty and offered no options besides buying a completely new system. This dismissive service after a premature hardware failure on an expensive device left a very sour taste, leading this long-time customer to reconsider their brand loyalty entirely.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer initially purchased this mesh network system, hoping for a smooth upgrade from their older setup. They were looking forward to Wi-Fi 6 and better device connectivity. The router module connected without a hitch, but the satellite unit proved to be a major obstacle. No matter what they tried, it simply refused to connect. After an hour on the phone with tech support, they were advised to return the entire thing. Unfortunately, the retailer only offered a refund, not an exchange. However, a helpful customer service agent managed to arrange a replacement. The second system arrived, but disappointingly, the satellite still wouldn't connect. The reviewer tried all the troubleshooting steps they remembered from their previous tech support call, but nothing worked. They even reinstalled their old system, which sprang back to life immediately, highlighting the contrast. After the second failed attempt, they decided to return the whole setup for a refund. Ultimately, this client discovered that the satellite unit had a firmware issue. The router automatically updated its firmware during setup, leaving the satellite on an older version and making it impossible to connect. Only by manually updating the satellite's firmware via its configuration page, while hardwired to the router, could they get everything working. Despite the initial frustration, our reviewer finally has a functional Wi-Fi 6 system.
Awesome. Let's hear what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer wanted to share their experience with this mesh network system. The biggest problem our reviewer encountered was with the outdated firmware that was pre-installed on the device. Apparently, this particular model was an older production run, and the initial firmware update didn't bring it to the latest version. This meant that the device was stuck on an intermediate version and couldn't automatically update to the newest one. This client spent a considerable amount of time, between 6 and 8 hours, trying to troubleshoot the resulting issues, including multiple calls to customer service. It would have been incredibly helpful if the product had included instructions on how to manually update the firmware, as the automatic update feature wasn't working correctly. While our reviewer praised the customer service representatives for being friendly and helpful, they felt that the whole ordeal could have been avoided if the device had come with proper instructions for handling outdated firmware. The representative did stay with the reviewer to get everything working. Essentially, while the mesh network system is great once it's up and running smoothly, there's a chance you might encounter initial setup problems due to the outdated firmware, potentially leading to hours of frustrating troubleshooting. However, on the bright side, you can expect excellent support from customer service if you run into any issues. Adding to the frustration, the web interface showed a banner suggesting a newer version of the software, but clicking it just led to a page confirming that the firmware was up to date.
And that's it.
If this video helped, hit like and subscribe for more. Let me know what you think down below. Thanks for watching.